You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. I'm with Emily and Gareth.
Hello.
It's Saturday. Well, that was Emily who said that.
Yeah. The op went well.
Yeah.
Frank, we've had a text in.
Text already on
Yeah.
12:15. Hurrah!
Morning, Frank and gang. What's this I hear that you're on for 2 hours? How are you going to cope, Munchie?
Well, we're on
Well,
for
I don't
2
know where
hours.
to begin with this text,
We're on for 2
Munchie.
hours every week.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean that we know how we're going to cope, but
Well, Munchie's a funny old name, though.
yes, sounds to me like someone who might have had the munchies for most of the early hours of the morning. But yeah, we're on for 2 hours every Saturday morning, Munchie. Silly.
And Gary Monia
Gary Monia,
has,
that's what you are.
well, that's very good, because he's talking about you ask people to make a song with their name in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's come in with, my name fits perfectly in the song, What's That Coming Over the Hill? It's Gary Monia. It's Gary Monia.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, imagine the elation when Gary Monia discovered that for the first time. I'd like to have been there to have seen his little face. You know that mole he's got that just above the I bet that just twitched a bit. That's great. See, I went for Gary Monia to the tune of Unforgettable by Nat King Cole. Anyway, that's this morning's phone-in. Songs that fit Gary Monia's name most appropriately. How do you spell Monia?
Monnier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone's also had a bizarre eureka moment.
Oh.
Yes,
Already?
Jack from Eastbourne, he says that...
Bizarre rather than stupid.
Yeah,
Case,
idiotic. Idiotic is what we usually
Idiotic
say.
eureka moment, yeah. In case any new listeners start here, this is the idea that something for years that you haven't got and you suddenly get it. Like, for the classic example was I used to watch the BT adverts, and the fact that the woman was called BT never struck me that was a pun on BT for about 5 years. So it's like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise until you first said that you had never realised that until...
Yeah.
But he says to avoid swearing, he says fiddlesticks. And then it dawned on him that fiddlesticks is probably talking about, like, the bow you use for a violin.
Yeah.
There's a fiddlestick.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had one this morning actually, but that's my business. Oh, I had an idiotic eureka moment when I was looking in the papers. Well, actually, it wasn't. It reminded me of idiotic. There was a feature. I don't know if anyone who's read today's tabloids will have seen this. Eric Clapton is photographed in a
in the laundrette?
in a laundrette.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't like those pictures.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think he just... why would he be in a laundrette, Eric Clapton?
He looked all caught unawares with
Yeah.
his smalls. I didn't like
Committed
it.
some sort of crime.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Laundering the evidence.
Do you think that?
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I
wiping blood off the... Oh, no. That old one that they always do. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that it's come to this.
I think he had a full-length leather as well, like Ron Atkinson. I didn't like his clothes. Anyway,
Did he have a full-length leather?
I think he had an Atkinson full-length leather.
Oh, that was a bit Matrixian. Brr, Matrix. That's that's my new rule for all our listeners. If you see anyone in a full-length leather coat, you have to go, Brr, Matrix, immediately, right? Especially if they're really fashionable people. And...
So go on. So Eric Clapton.
So it said Slow Hand Wash was the headline because he's known as Old Slow Hand.
Is
Eric
he?
Clapton. Yeah, that's his nickname.
Oh, okay.
And I always assumed that was to do with his guitar technique. That he was so, he was so effortless. But actually, I say this as a eureka. In fact, he told me that it actually comes from.
I like a celebrity idiotic eureka.
Yeah, that it was what they used. It was his nickname. Slow Hand, because Slow Hand Clapton.
Oh.
Slow Hand Clapton.
Oh, I get it.
Slow Hand Clapton. Do you see?
Yeah, very good. We've had a brilliant text from Phil.
Well, you put the pressure on Phil.
I know. And he's... Well, I'm going to have to sing it. And he said, when I was 17, it was a Gary Monia.
I can't believe that's absolutely marvellous. Congratulations, Phil. You're a top man.
This is Frank Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Yeah, that was REM, Orange Crush. And Dave Gorman, someone who was just saying he's going to interview Michael Stipe on his Absolute Radio show. Is that
Oh,
correct?
is he?
Wow.
Oh.
That's good.
Brilliant. I've interviewed him. Can I point that out?
Wow, I would be nervous interviewing him.
Why?
He just seems a bit
Frail.
scared.
I thought he could go at any moment. Yeah. I thought I won't startle him. That's the secret. No, he was lovely. He told me a story. I think it was to do with his dog. I remember there was a fence which he described as yay high, as he signified it with his hand, how high it was. And I think it was a dog getting his stomach ripped off, or something of that nature.
It's a lovely story.
It couldn't have been that, could it?
No.
I don't think he's not that kind of a character.
Might
He's very
have a
peace-loving,
punchline.
shiny people thingy.
No, he wears that horrible blue eye makeup. I don't like
Oh,
it.
they're like the Black Swan. My girlfriend Kath was saying that she now judges people completely on whether or not, this is her new rule of thumb for
Yeah.
whether to write human beings off or not. Anyone who likes Black Swan, she knows that there is no worth in them at all.
God.
I'm
Yeah.
going to not watch that film.
Well, it's all right to watch it, just make sure you don't like it. So, there I was driving over Tower Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
And, when you drive along and the police, you can see the blue light in the background,
Oh,
you
don't,
think...
don't I ever know that?
And you think I'll have to I'll pull out. Some people, they keep going. I don't know what it is with some, they don't seem to notice. I pulled right over
Did you?
into the gutter. And the police, they pulled over as well, behind me. And I thought, who's coming through if the police are pulling over with a blue light? It must be Simon Cowell. I couldn't think of anyone else who the whole of London would move out the way for. Turned out I'd been pulled over. Now, this hasn't happened to me for many years, and I must say I felt a little bit G, if you know what I'm saying. A bit G, a bit gangster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were you on your own in the car?
No, I had... I wasn't at all on my own. I think some of you may know that currently I live with my girlfriend, but
Yeah.
her sister is staying with us as well. So they were both in the car with me. In fact, her sister Rachel came... When I was talking to the police, she came over, she said, to lighten the mood. And I said, I must admit, when I saw you, I thought I had to get out of the way. And she said, well, I'm surprised you saw them because you're more or less blind, aren't you? I thought, no, this is like when at an airport we'll say, I just got the bomb in.
No
It's
jokes.
like that. You don't do jokes with the police.
Can I ask, why were you pulled over, Frank? They have to give you a reason.
Well, apparently it was because I represent British television and they're still angry about the bill being well, they were livid about it. Yeah. They did the walk for me as well. I had to play dun, da, 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 dun, on a harmonium while they walked up and down Tower Bridge. I mean, apparently I was driving more quickly than one is supposed to.
Oh, were you?
But it was opening. I had to get over the gap.
So what did they do? Did they just talk... Did they just talk to you then and tell you off?
No, they actually breathalyzed me. Can you believe that?
A man of your calibre.
He said to me, have you been drinking? And I said, I can tell you now.
Officer.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink since September the 24th, 1986, and he just looked at me, disbelief. And I thought, I've never been more confident of passing a test in my life than I was of passing this one. But then, having said that, because he got it out, and it looked like it wasn't a bag. I was expecting the last time I got breathalyzed, it was a plastic bag. It looked like an iPhone.
Yeah, it's like a little credit card machine. It
Yeah.
has happened to me, I have to say. I was clean.
Did you hand it back to the merchant?
I said...
There was like an enormous sort of
Yeah.
Eastern man in a turban and silken clothes selling spices. I had to give it back to him. I hate it when that happens. No, it was like an iPhone with a tube on it. I thought it was going to be, that, is it the clavichord app? When you go, ooh, thought it was going to go like that. It didn't. And also, he said, take a really big breath and let all your air out your lungs. And towards the end, I thought I could go down here. If I fall, are they ever going to believe that I was?
Don't ask Michael Stipe to do that. We'll finish him right off.
Yeah, exactly. You got it, mister. So, and there was a tiny grain of doubt that I might fail the breathalyzer, even though I haven't had a drink since.
Why is that? I had that and I haven't been drinking, and I thought that.
I think it's because even though I haven't had a drink since then, I've never felt fully sober since.
You might have had a liqueur, chocolate liqueur.
I thought it might have been, it lodges. I remember someone telling me once that they'd gone on some diet when you had to eat, like, sand or something like that, and it scratches all the stuff off your intestines. Oh. And she said, like, big lumps. Said it looked like the tube off one of those, a Henry. Vacuum cleaner. You know the tube on that? It looked like that, and what it was like the hard inner lining that had formed on her intestine over the years from just food that had sat there and gone hard like plastic.
Any other intestine stories? Text in.
Yeah, that's it. I'm looking for intestinal anecdotes. Intestinal anecdotes could easily be the name of the lead singer of some Eastern band.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, Frank, you were breathalyzed then, the drama.
Anyway, the great news is I passed.
Oh, well good, done. You're clean.
And it all ended with them saying stuff like, so where are you off to tonight and all that. I love it when the police get all community.
Yeah.
And it was smashing, and, we got back in the car, and off we went, the three of us, to a party, and we laughed. Oh, what an adventure we've had there, we said to ourselves. And they let me keep the little tube as a souvenir.
Did they?
Yeah. And that's this week's prize.
Wow.
Smashing.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Many of Horror by Biffy Clyro.
We've seen them live.
We have, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I remember when they were on the cover of the Beano every week. That was Biffo the Bear.
The Gary Monnier texts are flooding in.
Are they?
Yeah.
We should say that this morning's phone-in, Don't Ask Me How, is well-known songs that fit Gary Monnier's name.
Yeah.
Who's Gary Monnier, you're wondering? He's just some bloke who texted in. He was the lucky one.
We have got loads, Gary, haven't we?
We've had some lovely ones. We've got... Nick says that Gary Monnier has the same number of syllables and the same intonation as the word California. So,
I know where he's going with this.
We all could be
Gary
Monnier.
Gary Monnier, here I come, right back where I started. I think that's the first Al Jolson we've had on. I know it's on Absolute 20s.
Yeah.
Gary Monnier, Gary Monnier. From the OC.
Don't know.
Mental old man.
Now you're just saying the name.
Nick in Poole. Hiya, Frank. How about the Flying Lizards 80s classic Monnier? That's what I want.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes.
I want my Monnier.
I'm not going to sing it. We know.
We know. And we've had some other bits. It's not all about Gary Monnier.
Oh, no, let's not get away. I mean, I think people already hate him.
Yeah, exactly. There's more to life than Monnier.
Moliere? I think there's more to life than Moliere was the original Absolute Radio slogan. And people said, is it too obscure, do you think? No, it'll be fine.
We've had a text in from Ross Hannah. Don't know if you can guess.
Absolute Radio, there's more to life than Moliere.
I don't know if you can guess where this is going. The text is from Ross Hannah.
Oh, yeah.
Try singing my name to Toto's Rosanna. It fits perfectly. I was tormented at school for ages when the song was first released. I remember that song. Remember that, Frank?
No, I don't.
Rosanna, Rosanna.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
How they got a dog to sing that, haven't they?
And Mark Robbins, Frank, at work they used to sing "He's not heavy, he's Mark Robbins." The Hollies. That doesn't even work.
Very good.
Does this mean this either means that Mark Robbins is a large person or a very, very thin person, doesn't it? It's going to mean, or perhaps he's not very profound in his conversation.
Yeah.
He's light. He's generally light.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps it light. He keeps it light, Mark. It's not Mark Robbins used to play for Manchester United.
Who knows?
Mark Robbins.
Who knows?
Can I say I cried this week?
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I mean, I do cry at the telly quite a lot. I've never cried at Rolf Harris before.
Oh, really?
I was in a room once, I think, and I think it was just the fumes from the felt pen he was using. But generally speaking, I would never cry.
Did you not see Animal Hospital? He cried a lot in that.
We're all rooting for you, Pop.
No, well, I think...
Is what you refer
I don't know if I've
to.
ever told you before, but one of my most disappointing experiences was tuning into Animal Hospital, thinking it was going to be major operations conducted by animals. I thought there would be an Alsatian with a scalpel gaffer taped to one paw, sort of roughly cutting a serrated cut into somebody, and like a squirrel passing him a swab. Whatever a swab is, something that used to make Popeye very angry. Yes, swabs.
I hope they're doing the ops on humans. That makes an added element of danger, which I enjoy.
Oh, of course, on humans.
Oh, good,
I wonder
good.
the whole thing could have been... If the whole thing had been animals, then, what you got to lose? If
Well,
the Alsatian, if the kestrel doesn't pull through, so be it. That's my motto. It's up there with There's More to Life than Moliere, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, we can't just sit here talking nonsense.
So you cried this week. Did you lose more money?
No.
Okay.
What
I'm just
happened?
asking.
I watched Jamie's Dream School.
Oh, yeah.
Which some of you may not know, though the publicity for it has been enormous. Jamie Oliver has had this idea of people who have slipped through the system, as it were. We can't say failed, apparently.
No.
People who left school with not many qualifications, a bit like myself. I left with 2 O-levels. Art and English language, the only two you don't have to revise for, coincidentally. It's kids like that. Well, they were nothing like me. Can I make that clear?
Okay.
But they got celebrity teachers in who were very, very good and passionate. So that's the story. And their art teacher was Rolf Harris. I mean, how brilliant would that be? And they broke him. They completely broke Rolf. This is a bloke who can sing Two Little Boys without crying. But at the end of that, he was at the end of the lesson, he said, well, I don't know. Because he can't speak without... Yeah. Apparently he has to breathe through a didgeridoo now most of the time as he's got to that sort of age. But no, he was absolutely... They just hadn't listened to him, and it was wrong. And I'll tell you what was the thing that I honestly made tears run down my cheek.
I cried throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, but get this. I don't know if you noticed this, but this killed me, right? In the background, as Rolf was talking, you could see a painting, right? And obviously, they only show you tiny bits of the lesson, so we'd miss this bit. And it was a brilliant sort of parody of a Banksy. You know Banksy, the graffiti artist? It was a brilliant sort of Banksy thing. I mean, fantastic. Obviously done by Rolf. And thinking, if I do something Banksy-esque, the kids will know I'm communicating and I'm on their wavelength. And he'd signed it underneath, Rolfsy. It was so... I started my asthma. Anyway, when I was a young man, I was a very, very big fan of a band called X-Ray Specs. The lead singer was called Polystyrene. Well, what happened to Polystyrene? Some of our older listeners are asking. This is a new single.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, the softest, mintiest show in town. Sponsored by Tree Bar Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.
Loving it. That was Virtual Boyfriend by Polystyrene. She was the first woman I ever saw that made a tooth brace look sexy.
Oh, really?
Now, of course,
The first woman you saw.
First woman I saw who did that, because now it's the norm, isn't it?
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah, it's quite in vogue.
Yeah, she pioneered that, did Polly. Saw them at Barbarella's once in Birmingham. The bass player just got one string on his bass, I remember.
What was Barbarella's in Birmingham? Was that like Stringies?
It was a punk club. It was nothing like
Wasn't like
Stringies.
Stringies.
How dare you!
So, you were talking about Jamie, Frank.
Oh, yeah, it's, the Jamie Oliver. Now, I like Jamie Oliver. He's great, he's the man, right? The man with the Midas touch. And, yeah, see, a lot of people think that's Midas in the
A lot of people think that's Monnier.
Yeah, they think it's the Midas touch. But the next line shows that it's actually the Midas touch.
Oh, is it?
Because the next line says, not too near the belt, nor too near the crotch. And you realise it's the mid-ass touch.
Oh, I see. Oh.
So it's a man. Goldfinger, obviously, they have to put up with a certain amount of sexual harassment from him, but at least he's fondling, he's localised. That's the point that Shirley Bassey was making. Anyway, Let's not go all Sky Sports 1 or 2.
No.
So, yeah, Jamie Oliver, who I really like, has got the score going. But the big thing was David Starkey, the history bloke.
Yeah, he did a bad murder.
He did.
He did himself a bad murder. He's got in trouble, hasn't he, now?
He called a kid fat.
Yeah.
Well, he said, "Oh, you're so fat, you probably couldn't move." And the kid said, "Well, what about you?" The kid said. He said, "What about you?" He said,
"You're 4 foot tall."
He said, "What about you? Look at your glasses."
Well, you said that to Gareth this morning.
Yeah, no, but what does that mean? Does that slow you down? How big are the glasses? Or are they plugged in so to stop him? And also, I don't know about you, but I find if I look at my glasses while I'm wearing them, I get all like a headache underneath my eyebrows. Underneath my eyebrow. Yeah. So that was the silly thing.
He also said, "And how tall are you?" I'm not being rude, mate, but how tall are you? I love that as a...
No, well, he was biting back.
Yeah.
He was. But, I mean, obviously I think you shouldn't be able to tell kids that they're fat nowadays. Now, one could argue that kid will be so upset he'll go away and die. And David Starkey maybe put 10 years on his life.
Yeah.
Because he'll be healthier. What about that for an argument? Hello?
Maybe.
David Starkey also said at one point, he said, if you do a job where someone tells you what to do, you don't want to do that kind of job. Well, it doesn't say much for us, does it? Any of us. We've got Absolute telling us what to do.
Well, they're very mild-mannered. They've never called us fat, ever. Not me, anyway. No, but the bloke in it that got me was the headmaster.
Oh, yeah.
Right. He really got on my nerves because he was one of these... There was a shot of him watching... if you didn't see this, I know it's probably tedious, so we'll move on in a minute, but trust me, he's watching David Starkey calling the kid fat and stuff, and he's sort of going, "Oh, no," and holding his forehead. Oh, God. And I thought, so acting, the headmaster thinking, I know what they want, these TV people. They want to see me outraged. And his name is John Dabro.
Oh.
So, and to get on with the kids, he's obviously changed his name to Dabro. Hey, I'm Dabro. Right? And that what he was like. He was totally,
It's
the
too
kids.
close to Davro.
It's all right that they talk all the time and text and don't listen and swear and stuff. That's
I
fine.
don't like it when they text. That's very rude, isn't it?
No, I believe it.
What do you think?
Well, my
Voice of Youth over
friend's
there.
a teacher, and he says the headmaster is he's a well-known. Really
I don't
good
like where
head
this is
teacher.
going.
He's
well-known...
a very good teacher, that man.
Okay.
What, Dabro?
Dabro is, he's famous, he's good.
Is he?
He's very good headmaster.
I hated him. I'll go as far as to say I hated him.
I'm not sure that Jamie solved the problem of our education system, because I'm not sure there's enough celebrities to teach all of the children. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, you should just send them to Celebrity High. Brackets, Principal Kerry Katona, close brackets. And there they will find all they need to discover about life.
I think comics should do... I think they have to have comics class, because then you're used to dealing with hecklers, so you'd soon shut them up, you guys. Surely.
Well, he asked me to go in there and do performance skills, and then he poo-pooed my backpack flamethrower idea. I thought, I wouldn't have to do a whole lot of them, just one. Just 4 or 5 of them as, human fireballs, and the others, I think, would have calmed down. They just, God bless the kids. They're kids and they don't know any better. But I did feel, well, you might as well just move them into council flats on their own now, give them the heroin and say, that's it. You're not listening. You're just not listening. You're not listening. So what difference does it make? And they'd say, what do you say? I'd say you're not listening. Hey, sorry, I was texting. I was just trying to... That's what I thought.
I think I prefer Jamie's dream school idea to the heroin idea. Can I just say that?
Yeah, but we're running out of ideas now for the series. We've got to. This one, it's not. Channel 4 knocked it back. It's on Dave.
Frank Skinner's heroin school.
This is Frank Skinner
Absolute
Radio.
Yeah, but Rolf Harris, it's unacceptable.
Well, talking of unacceptable...
Yeah. Unacceptable, that's what you are.
Tony in Cambridge, after Frank's Galliano-inspired remarks about heroin school and council flats...
Oh, dear.
Can I just say I enjoyed your last ever broadcast.
Oh, no, is that it?
Looking forward to Gareth's Saturday morning show. We'll miss Frank's music choices, though. Gutted, Tony in Cambridge.
Oh. I was thinking, do you remember Mr. Bronson that used to be on Grange Hill?
I remember him very well.
Well, they should have said to the kids at Jameis, "We've got Mr. Bronson to teach you." Then it could be Charles Bronson, the prisoner, into the bald head, and he'd have come in, and I think he might have got a bit more discipline. What do you say?
Yes.
He is, of course, in case you don't know Charles Bronson, he is
Friend of the show.
He's actually-
Friend of the show.
He is our
Right.
friend. Emily is our friend. We like him very much. In case he
okay.
gets out.
that was Fiend of the show. Carry on.
Ian in Hitchin, Frank says.
Ian
Frank,
Hislop,
no. Well, maybe.
the Winkle Thom.
Frank, I'm not sure if you know, but although Absolute don't call you fat, they do call you ugly roughly every 15 minutes throughout the week.
That is true.
Oh.
Faces for Radio is
Well, that's true.
I should get affronted like that kid in the yeah, call me ugly. What about your playlist? Don't put them in their place.
Vicky Blight said you weren't a stud muffin as well before the show today.
Did she?
Did she?
Outrageous.
Oh.
Take
Well,
me back
in
to
fairness.
dear old Blighty. I've also taken to calling our newsreader Sandy Warhol instead of Sandy War. I don't know where that came from, but I just
It works.
I forgot. I got mixed up, and I was saying, "Oh, is Sandy Warhol doing the?" And I thought, "No, that's incorrect. It's not her real name."
Frank, you know you played Virtual Boyfriend before?
Yes.
Well, we had a text in from Nigel Wilcox.
That's not a
saying-
computer game, in case
No.
anyone thinks it's a song.
Yeah, a computer game that I play it is. Frank,
It will
you
be.
said... Yeah.
Things get any worse.
Yeah. You said, what happened to polyethylene? I thought she became a rapper. I think he means
That's good, though.
polystyrene.
He does, but what he's done, he's thought, well, polystyrene isn't actually a rapper, so I'll make it sound a bit like polythene. But no, that's good that she became a rapper.
Very good.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
She's packing. How about that?
We've actually had a text in from Gary Monnier here as well.
Oh,
He says,
him?
Yeah. He says, I'm sat on the bus laughing out loud, looking like a right weirdo while listening to your show. This is the best radio programme ever. Thanks. Well, it would be, really.
It would be if your name's all over
Yeah.
it like a rash. Yeah. And that's why this is my favourite radio programme, basically. OK, I might get called ugly at intervals in it, but who cares? Oh, I could listen to me all day. I know you couldn't, Jeff. Well, go to work. Sorry, I just sometimes in my headphones I hear the actual Absolute listeners that come in through their.
Apparently, Frank, there's another text in saying, "Hi Frank, at times that bad that you have to do voiceovers for B&Q. Trade point. There is a guy on there who says these got to be 8x4s. Sounds just like you." That's from Martin.
Well, I should
You're not
look
doing
into-
that, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not
Okay.
doing that. No,
Okay.
I don't really. You know, I did that Tesco advert once. And,
Did you?
Yeah, and I heard myself. I was in the house. I heard myself say every little helps.
And how did you feel?
Well, I tried to kill myself.
Sorry to laugh at that news.
Yeah, I think that it was one of those where the last bit of the sentence would be, and then turn the gun on himself. That's what I thought after I heard that. Anyway, we must go on. We got Sandy.
Okay.
Sandy War.
Hole.
No, don't.
Okay.
You get me saying it.
Frank on
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Thursday, was it Thursday? World Book Day.
We don't
Hold on,
know.
you're going to ask me quizzes about your life with no hints. Was it Thursday? When?
No, what was Thursday World Book
When?
It was, well, this Thursday, last Thursday.
Oh, last Thursday. Yeah. Was
Book
it?
Day?
What? Was it World Book?
Day? I think so.
It was. Well, I tell you, I know it was World Book Day because have you seen that TV program with Anne Robinson?
Oh, Anne Robinson,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Being, I saw it
Talking-
with Sarah Millican and Larry Lamb, was it on? Is he the guy from
Oh, I
Gavin
didn't
and Stacey?
see that. What was that like?
No, Larry Lamb's. Wasn't he in EastEnders?
Yeah,
Was he?
and Gavin
Yeah,
and Stacey.
also,
He
yeah.
played the
Was he
dad
that
in
as
that.
well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he gets a lot of work, Lamb.
Well, he wouldn't
Too
get
hot
much.
for Lamb, some say, but he gets a lot of work. Very
Yeah.
hot at the moment.
Well, he picked his 5 favourite books of all time,
Oh, yeah. What were they?
and one of them was a book by Barack Obama,
Oh.
which he was very keen. He said, "I've read." He said, "I've read all of Barack Obama's books in order." In order, so he hasn't just read them, he's done a bit of research. He hasn't just took one off the shelf. He's read the back bit and thought, well, is this the first one or the...
And I imagine Obama was sweating when he saw the review coming up. He would have been watching, and I bet he got really nervous, but big thumbs up from Larry Lamb.
Larry Lamb. Larry Chronological Lamb, as his friends call him. Anyway, so Larry Lamb, he picks his books, and he picks... they might be brilliant, the Barack Obama books. I'm not knocking it, but he went on about how good...
He's a good writer.
I'm not sure. The
He's
extract
famous
that they
for other
read...
things as well, in fairness, as writing.
They read an extract. It's rubbish. Anyway, he also picked the Times World Atlas.
Oh, very 70s show flat.
Not a lot of reading.
As his guilty pleasure.
Yeah, but I think...
Why is he guilty about looking at Atlas?
I think Larry Lamb...
What parts is he looking at?
What's he doing
Sweden,
with
that
it?
looks a bit like a...
No. No, he's... like those high boots. Oh, that's Italy. No, I think what's happened with Larry Lamb is he's taken the phrase World Book Day a bit too literally. World Book. Oh, yeah, I've seen those. I know the one they mean. And I mean, God bless him. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but I was glad when
after that?
I'm
sure.
I spent the whole thing looking forward to the Silence of the Lamb.
Frank, that's got to be his autobiography title. Just blank pages in there. Perfect.
I think shouldn't it be on his tombstone? The Silence of the Lamb.
Lamb to the slaughter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What, his book?
Maybe a biography afterwards.
Yeah.
Who knows?
What's Barack Obama's book?
Some...
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Does it involve freedom? I'm sure it does.
Something about my father's.
Frank.
Songs from my father's? No?
Anyway.
Well, this is interesting. We're trying to think up and remember the title to Barack Obama's book. But, Frank, in the meantime, I would like to ask you a question on behalf of our listener, Mike Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
He's a DJ in North Leeds. A lot of the guests at the weddings I do are around Frank's age, and it's only a matter of time before somebody asks for the Fall. With that in mind, could you please ask Frank which is the Fall's best disco dancing track?
Well, they did a cover of Lost in Music.
Did they?
Which is a bit of a disco. I believe I've played it on this show. Shows how much you listen, Emily Dean.
Oh.
So, yeah, you can certainly you can dance to that one.
Okay, excellent.
And the one that you like, Tunnel of Love. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can dance. It's not disco, but it's sort of... it's a bit more rock and rolly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard the original of that the other day, actually. I'll tell you how I heard the original. Is that Dan Mayer, who writes Harry Hill's show, gave me an album called Before the Fall, which is the originals of several Fall covers. So if you see that in the shops, buy it. I'll tell you what it doesn't include, the War Against Intelligence. You know that? Do you know that Fall track, the War Against Intelligence?
Oh, yeah, Larry Lamb told me about it.
Yeah. In case you don't know it, this is it.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Working towards a mintier world with Treebor Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.
That was the Fall War Against Intelligence.
Well, actually, Frank, I've had a text in from Richard in Basingstoke saying, "Oi, Frank," not a nice beginning, Richard. "Oi, Frank, it is Mark E. Smith's birthday today." Is that right?
It is, according to Wikipedia, born 5th of March.
I know he's like... I'm about 2 weeks younger than him or something like that, so that works out...
Oh, you look good on it compared to him.
Yeah, well... You know, it depends on... he's very harshly lit on stage.
I wonder what he's doing today, Frank. He might have a nice birthday tea, I reckon.
I reckon he's now just blowing the... If he blows the candles, there could be a massive explosion of alcoholic breath. Oh, thank you so much for this birthday cake. I'm loving it. Yeah. I'd like to be there.
He might wash his hair for his birthday.
Don't be unkind about Mark E. Smith
I'm
ever.
not. Happy birthday, Mark.
Yeah, if you're listening, Mark, you won't be. But I love you very much.
Yeah.
You've changed my life. How many people can you say that to? Hello?
Ben
4,
Jones.
6, 7.
Well, yeah.
Just count.
Okay, 2 in the world. Larry Lamb. Larry Lamb's given me a sort of Atlas phobia for some strange reason.
Sat-nav, I'm on the sat-nav now.
So I've been interviewed all week. A massive burst of publicity stuff.
You got your TV show coming up again, but we
I
can't mention it because you get cross. You go, don't publicise it.
Well, I don't want to use this show to sell something else. This show, to me, is pure in that respect. We'd never have adverts on this show, as you know. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even going to go there. Oh, God, I've said I'm not going to go there. Can you believe that? I've only ever said that about Bolton.
Too much
and now
information.
I've said it in
But
the way
so-
people say it in the office. Ooh, don't go there.
So you've been doing interviews?
Oh, yes. And it was a long, it's difficult to be interviewed by Closer magazine and then the New Statesman. You have to shift your register like changing
That's
gear.
a big old gear change.
It is. The woman from, I think it was Closer, but one of those magazines said to me, how do you and your girlfriend get on with the remote control? And I said,
Oh,
we
bless
have vile and aggressive arguments about it on a regular basis, which is completely true. Isn't that true in every house? And she said, what do you fight over? I says, well, she likes to come dine with me, and I like, documentaries on BBC4. And she said, I don't think our readers will know BBC4.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they can work out what it is.
It's one of
from
Jamie's dream school.
the letters and numbers. Anyway, so a bloke was talking to me, and he says to me, he said, I used to write on a lads mag in the 90s. He
What,
said,
like notes?
no,
have
he
any
said,
paper around?
he wrote 4.
Oh, I see.
wrote a lads
mag,
That's
yeah.
fine.
And I said, oh, yeah. He said, of course, you were the king of the new lads and all this. And I said, yeah, so I don't even talk about it now. He said, no, neither do I. He said, he said the new lads thing. He says, you don't want to bring it up. And we talked about it, about those days. And it's the first new lads nostalgia I've ever heard. Because there can be no popular cultural movement that has had more relentless stick than the new lads, right?
Yeah.
There was no redeeming features of the new lads. To be able to sit with someone, it was like being at an alcoholics meeting, because they actually,
You were a new lad.
it wasn't all like, that sort of topless women.
I was a ladette, in fairness.
Were you?
Oh, yeah.
But what I remember is like
I was
2
just a
hours.
lad.
You actually were a lad. No, there was like 2 hour conversations about the Italian job. There was more of that, and football rather than horrible.
Ours was
Richard
ours was sort of
things.
wander bras and drinking pints. That's what you did when you were a ladette.
Yeah, we drank pints out of Wonder Bras. Hello, boys. That was an absolutely new experience for me. I like so.
Didn't you Labour steal it from the new lads?
I think the word "new" was
It was around before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it not? It's quite recent new, isn't it?
Well,
I thought it was
don't know.
New.
How old is New York?
quite new.
It's about time they stopped calling it new.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
they just confuse things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So that
Old York should become Old York, and then New York could just be
Shut
York.
up now. You're over York the pudding. That's what you've done. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But it is true that the whole new lads thing, it's like the evil twin of Britpop. The one that's in prison and never mentioned.
It's what brought Brit. I can't say that. It's what brought Britpop down.
So that's this week's tongue twister. It's what brought Britpop. You're right. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's
brought Britpop down.
It's what brought Britpop down. It's what brought Britpop down. It's what brought Britpop down. That's my 3. Phew! That's an absolute killer. I love a tongue twister and a riddle. I like a riddle. My first is in fish, but not in boat.
As I was going to St Ives.
No, don't start with that again.
No, don't.
Got all day with it. Stupid sometimes nonsense. What am I doing now? We're playing more adverts. I've just condemned commercialism on the radio. Now you're making me into some sort of hypocrite.
You're such a new lad, Frank.
Oh, I'm such an old new lad.
We only have this excerpt. This is Frank Skinner
Absolute.
Radio.
Still Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Gareth and Emily, in case you thought, oh, God, that's got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Frank, I'd like to raise something.
Well, let's see what happens.
Well, I'd like to see what you two think of this.
Oh, no, stop now.
No.
Oh, dear.
No,
Well,
what-
it's funny you should say that, because it is to do with exposing body parts.
Okay.
And actually, I saw some photos of... Do you remember Debbie Gibson?
Do
Who's that
I?
80s pop star. Was
Yeah,
she
I
quite
saw
up
her.
your Strasser, was she?
I saw her in Greece with Craig McLachlan.
Did you?
Was it Craig McLachlan, which was, have I got the right bloke?
Yeah, yeah.
From Neighbours.
Check 1, 2 with the blonde curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the one... who's the one from Twin Peaks? What's he called?
Carl McLachlan.
Oh, well.
He's a bit more of a winning lookalike.
Yeah,
He's
he's a
different.
bit, yeah.
So Debbie Gibson.
Can I stop you there for one
Yeah.
second? Did you hear Charlie's latest quote?
No.
The Charlie Sheen one about... let me get... I've got it somewhere. Yeah, he says can't... Well, he probably says can't.
Yeah.
Can't is the cancer of happen.
Oh, Charlie.
That's brilliant, isn't
Very
it?
profound.
What I like about Charlie is I think that he writes his speeches using that fridge poetry stuff.
That is, yeah.
And I think he gets in the night. He thinks, I won't put the light on. I'll just arrange my speech for tomorrow on the fridge door, and then I'll just read it out.
That is brilliant marketing, Charlie Sheen fridge. I'm going to write that down.
I like
go
that
on,
he's
write
not
it.
stopping. He's just carrying on. This
No,
is
I'm
never
loving
going to
it.
stop.
Anyway,
so
It's got tiger blood.
Debbie Gibson, I noticed, Frank. Now she's 41, very well preserved. Obviously a gym figure. But
Yeah.
may I say,
he's very well preserved. Does that qualify as a compliment?
yeah, someone said that to me once. Someone said to me,
Sounds a bit Damien Hirst to me.
Someone said to me once, "You've kept your figure." I was 67 or something. So anyway, she, I noticed, Frank, nice body, nice gym body, but she had a very high crop top on and a low slung jean. And I just thought when I looked at her, even though she had a good figure, TOF, too old for that. Can't get your belly button out, I think. This is just my personal views. After about, I think, 27, 28 is the
Really?
cut-off.
That soon?
That's the cut-off point.
Wow.
That is the cut-off point.
Goodness.
It's a bit like baseball caps on men.
Well, baseball caps on any British man is outrageous.
Yeah.
I think the Americans, they carry them off.
Peter Doherty said that an Englishman in the baseball cap is something.
Do you know what else I
It's
think,
the
Frank?
motto of heroin school, I think. I can't remember exactly what he said. He said it was a bad thing.
I like that he's become Peter Doherty. Is he back at heroin school? Is he Doherty Minor said.
No, he's a
Frank, I
headmaster,
also
he must
have
be a bit more formal.
other too old fours.
I didn't enjoy that. It's not the most enjoyable quote I've ever heard on this show.
Oh, I'll find out
Something.
exactly what it was.
Sorry.
Other toffs, too old for. Kissing in public. I think that's got to stop at about 30. Actually, that might even be too old. About 25.
What about kissing altogether? No one
Yeah.
wants to see old people.
What about-
kiss. No one wants to kiss an old
what about
person.
if
Old
one-
people, surely.
What if one of the
No
partners is
kissing.
under?
What if what?
If one partner is, say, 63 and the other one, say, 19?
Oh,
is that
I
all
hadn't
right?
thought of that, Frank. Well, as long as you can only see the young
I
one's
think
face.
you should take
it's
an
okay.
average. I think you should take an average.
Oh, the average mean of
Yeah,
the kissing.
the mean age.
So that if it was 60 and 19, that would be 79. So half of that. No, it'd still be too old.
Is there anything that you guys feel too old for, though?
Well, I tell you, recently I looked in the mirror and I had jeans on, and I actually thought, am I getting too old for jeans now? I think it's because I'd seen Dr. Jonathan Miller at the opera, and he had jeans on, and I thought, oh no.
yeah.
You know, when I had a non-alcoholic cocktail recently, and they put in one of those curly straws.
Oh, yeah.
It's had a sort of a blue sheen to it.
Oh, a bit of winning.
Yeah, and it was very curly and had the blue. And I looked at it and I thought, I don't know that I want people to see this in close juxtaposition to my old face. It just seems wrong. The life affirming nature of a blue curly straw next to basically Albert Steptoe.
And the £7 haircut.
Yeah. And the jeans thing, I mean, I saw Bewitched have made a comeback, or two of them.
Oh, yeah.
Only two of them. Why would the Bewitched woman think, no, get the phone call and say, no, actually, I'm not interested? You believe that? What else is she
Too
doing?
old for jeans.
Even they didn't wear jeans.
Wow.
Bewitched, that used to be wall-to-wall denim.
Yeah.
I feel too old to watch Skins.
I mean pelvic wall. Sorry?
I feel too old to watch Skins. I've
You're
never
well
watched
too old to
Skins.
watch Skins,
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, if
Watching
I-
young people kissing, I feel awkward
Yeah.
about that.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, unless, yeah.
Well, are we all right watching Jamie's Dream School?
Well, are they going to be
Yeah.
kissing? They can have kissing lessons.
Well,
Who'd be good for kissing lessons?
they're going to have listening lessons, is what they're going to have. No, and also, something I noticed recently is badges. I've got some badges. I've got some fall badges. And I put this overcoat, and I thought I'd put one of my fall badges, and I thought, no, I just can't. I'm too old.
No.
Too old to wear a badge.
I've got an I am 7 badge, too old for that.
Yeah, you're well too old
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am Catholic.
On a badge?
Yeah.
Who gave you that?
Funny birthday card.
It was made in 1535 when it was a more daring thing to wear in those days.
Very revolutionary.
Yeah, it was.
Wore it on a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Well, odd.
Yeah. Well, I wear it on an industrial smock myself.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
That was Metronomy with The Look. Brilliant.
Speaking of the look, Harry Washington Smith has helpfully emailed, and I think he's done it using the... no, he has emailed. Hi, Frank, Emily and Gareth. The quote, the Peter Doherty quote is, there's fewer more depressing sights than that of an Englishman in a baseball cap.
Okay.
Wait, if it said baseball hat, that would rhyme. There's fewer more depressing sights than that of an Englishman in a baseball hat.
Yeah, see? He's on the verge of poetry at all times, Peter Doherty, as he's now
The
called.
drugs don't work.
In Frank's dream school.
Yeah. What else? Have we had contact from the outside world?
We've had a lovely email from Sean Phelan.
Phelan. Email from Sean Phelan.
Dear Frank, Emily and Gareth, I want to thank you all for bringing pedestrian racing into my life. I was listening to some of the older podcasts while walking into uni when the newly established sport arose as a topic of discussion. I was laughing along when I noticed a woman ahead of me. I was in the zone. As I was in the zone, I put my foot down and casually overtook her. I continued feeling rather pleased with myself until she came striding past me. I wasn't having this, and once more took the lead.
Can I stop you there? Because one of the great things about pedestrian racing is it becomes so much one's priority in life. I recently walked behind a woman, and I don't want to go back to New Lads nostalgia, but she's, I couldn't see her face, but she had, like, very short skirt and knee socks on. She looked amazing.
Yeah.
But she was walking quite quickly, and a lot of men would have sat back to admire the view. Not Frank.
Couldn't do it.
No, I had to overtake. It's as simple as that. It's a matter of principle. This guy obviously has similar morals.
As she again tried to overtake me, we made eye contact and both burst out laughing. As I removed my headphones, she asked me if I listened to Frank Skinner on Absolute.
Oh!
I said that I did. We continued talking and really hit it off. We're going out this weekend.
Oh, Frank!
Oh, it's our first pedestrian race in marriage.
Nice.
I just want to wish you a lot of luck. Da-da, da-da. I should bring that back.
that's
I think
so
I'd be brilliant. If they brought that back, I could host that.
Oh, okay.
That'd be great. I'm interested in all aspects of relationships. Yeah. And, we could... I'd love it. That's any TV people listening, just call me.
Frank, I
had
love
one.
that
Can I
story.
say I had one recently? I was going over Waterloo Bridge. It was all the bridges this morning, and a man. He's an Oriental man. I bet Japanese, very fashionable. You know, the Japanese can be high fashion, and he had these big zippy boots on, looked very uncomfortable, and I thought, I'll burn this guy off, with his silly footwear. I went past him, and he rallied. Right, and I could see he wasn't going to let me go, and then he went, and I overtook him for a second, and then he came back, and I felt, he was a much younger man, and I thought, am I destroyed? And I could see he was in pain with the shoes, so I went again. That great moment when you go a second time, and the brilliant thing, because he had jingly shoes on, I could feel him. I could feel him give up. Because I heard he's walking. So as I went past this, I knew he was quashed.
You'd broken him.
And I remember thinking, I must get a jacket that says goodbye on the back of it. A sort of special pedestrian...
Too cocky.
You could have loser
Asking
on
for
it. That's
trouble.
what Charlie would do.
Yeah.
What would
Winning.
Charlie do? Something I ask myself every day
That's what you
now.
should have on
Well,
winning.
Charlie said... He will be. Give him another fortnight. That's how he'll be speaking all the time.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
That was Suddenly I See by Katie Tunstall. Now, you you see this alarm?
There's something about the initial. There's something.
It's the initials.
The
thing.
initials at the
Yeah.
start that's setting it off, I
Yeah.
think. Can we see? I'll have a look at it. Like,
Yeah, but is it initials? I mean, I know it's spelt initials, but is she called Katie?
Oh,
and that's
Katie,
why.
and she's
is there a T? Has she got a middle name
no,
that
it
begins
is
with T?
initials. It is KT,
Is it?
but I don't know whether that.
Anyway.
Frank, I'm just checking my makeup. There's a photographer outside. He's coming to take pictures of you. And
Yes.
apparently we might be in the background. I heard that.
Is this heroin school gate? Is he getting ready for me? No, we apparently my interview's in the Guardian magazine next
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it because it didn't go that well. I'll be honest with you. It's quite hostile.
Was
I
it?
think they
Oh,
say in
dear.
America.
Oh, dear.
I don't mean hostile
What
as
did
it was
they-
somewhere where tramps lived. It was unfriendly.
Oh, I see.
But
It might
you know,
be nicer. You might be getting a
so
nice
my only
surprise.
hope is that I look nice in the photos because I'm not going to look nice in the text.
So you're going for. But he seems so friendly.
Yeah, but look at him in the pictures. He looks lovely. Why does she hate him so much? That's what I'm after. That's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think she was the woman you may remember who began by saying, "Why do you hate women?" So I'm thinking that I might.
Oh, she called me in the week. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. So in the photos, I'm going to be reading the female eunuch, just like it's casual. Maybe not reading it.
Cuddling a couple of women.
Just have it. No, that wouldn't work.
Oh, is it?
No,
you've got that, you've
no,
got
I
that.
was going to do like a Hills Angels pose, but
You've got
apparently,
completely the wrong end of the stick now.
Charlie's Angels?
yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. What
Anyway.
else? Have we heard anything from the outside world again?
Well, we've had someone asking you about your soap holder, which doesn't happen every day of the week.
Oh, yeah, the whole soap holder.
This is from Keith, who says, Frank, how has that
Keith?
soap... Yeah, Keith, with an F.
Okay.
Frank, how has that soap holder worked out for you?
Well, you may
Have you
well
sorted your shower issues now?
Yeah, well, I felt like a real handyman because I put the soap holder in my... Somebody sent me a free soap holder because I don't have one in my shower, and I put it in myself. I mean, it was only a socker,
It's a sucker.
but even so, you have to put like a clamp on the back so it gets a full grippage. Because you know that thing when you're driving and your tom-tom slides and
Yeah,
lands on the dashboard, that moment of panic?
It's really
Oh, yeah.
scary.
I don't want that in the shower as well.
No.
So, yeah, it's been magnificent. Thank you for asking. It's changed my life. And the people who sent it in from whatever they were called, something like PJ Associates. Where have we got to get this scene to?
You see, it's gone off twice as well. 'Cause
Yeah, and what about the no
Usually when it
repeat
fits.
guarantee?
Yeah.
It's in ruins.
I'll have a look at it.
And we had a text in from Dominic as well, who was chastising one of us, Gareth, I think.
Yeah.
Because he says anyone over 20 is surely too old to use well in phrases, like well too old, which I think I might have said or Gareth said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dominic must be quite old because he's being really moany. He's too. You know.
Don't turn on people who
No.
are kind enough to... I've told you about this. Just take it, water off a
Dominic.
duck's back.
Dominic!
No, no, no.
I'll bring you down, Dominic, if this is the last thing I do!
Oh no. Dominic, you've...
Overreacting?
It's all gone a bit winning.
Overreacting.
Yeah, winning.
I've got tiger blood, Dominic. What can I do about it? I need a transfusion or something.
Do you think
So good for me.
Charlie Sheen will bring out
a human.
mods tiger feet, slightly modified? Well, he loved that tiger blood. He could. That would say, if he brought that out now, that would sell. If I called him and said, Charlie,
Don't-
and
don't
the fridge
do that.
magnets.
Don't
and the
call
fridge
him.
magnets. I really think he should do the fridge
you
magnets.
think he should do that as well?
Brilliant.
He's already selling stuff on his Twitter. He's obviously looking for and I actually watched that. What's his sitcom called?
Oh, 2.5
Two and a
men.
half men.
I hadn't seen it before, but he's got such publicity for it. I thought I'll sit down and I'll watch it. It's rubbish.
It's not even half a man, it's a child.
It sort
Yeah.
of slightly
Nonsense.
spoils the fact that he's been talking about, I whip this into gold and
Yeah,
stuff
the
like
tin
that.
cans.
Tin cans into
It's-
gold.
It's no different strokes, let's face it. It'll
No.
do.
We should
No.
make that happen. We should make the fridge magnet. Can't is the cancer of happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to be positive.
Let's see if we can make it happen. What, different strokes? The new version? Is that what you're after? Me and Lenny Henry's doing it. We just need a brother for him now. Who could we have?
I miss-
Gary Wilmot. So it'd be Lenny Henry and Gary Wilmot as the kids, and me as the dad. What do you
You'd be
think?
good as that, Dad. Who's going to be Kimberly?
Kimberly, I'm
Coca-Cola?
thinking Clodagh Rogers, the
okay.
former Eurovision Song Contest entrance. If she's still alive, she's in.
Yeah.
That's what we said in the in the meeting we had about it this week. Clodagh Rogers, check. If she's still alive, she's in.
Dominic says, yeah, you're right, I'm well too old.
Oh,
Good old Dominic for
We're friends
joining
again.
in.
Love
I'm
Dominic.
loving him. So you like Dominic now, don't you?
Oh no, I'm still going to hunt him down.
Okay. So, if you actually enjoyed this, then no, I know, but some people do. You can listen to Not the Weekend podcast, which is available every Wednesday, and this is us sort of. I always imagine, as I think I've said before, it's like us trapped in a space capsule, swirling through space and just talking about stuff. Ben Jones is next, although he's in a different studio because the photographer's going to come in here and take photos of me with headphones on, trying to...
And he doesn't like to be
look
around
nice.
cameras because they think it steals his soul. I think.
Is he a North American Indian?
I think so.
Is he?
Something like that.
I didn't know that. What is
I
he?
don't
Is
like
he
to be
one of-
around cameras
Is he a
either.
Comanche? Is that what you're saying? Okay, anyway, we need to go. Oh, but we had a text from Tim that says, I never say good day to you anymore at the end of the show, and since that has stopped, he hasn't had a good day. Can you believe that? Anyway, good day to you.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Trebor Soft Mints, bringing a softer, mintier feel to your Saturday morning.
Absolute